Hey crafters! Well, I am actually shopping. I'm at Costco. I need veggies, I need groceries, and all those good things. But I'm wondering if Costco could be a place we could find some clothes that could use a little upcycle magic. Now, this video is not in any way, shape, or form sponsored by Costco. I just need to go shopping, honestly. But as all good Costco shoppers do, you gotta ogle the clothing, right? I mean, sometimes you can find some great basics. You can't try them on at the store, you gotta try them on at home and, return what doesn't fit. But sometimes you can find some great things. Prices are usually pretty low. The quality varies a little bit, but you never know what you're gonna find. Sometimes all a basic garment needs is a little upcycle magic. Maybe tie-dye something into a color that you like better, or give it a little embellishment, maybe even just do a simple modification to help it fit your body or your life a little bit better. You never know. So why don't we head inside, see what we find today, see if we can find some upcycle candidates, and then I'll take them home, I'll show you what I'm looking at, get some ideas going on for our crafty DIY, and we'll see what we can do. I'm gonna grab my shopping list and let's get to upcycling. Guys, successful mission, mango smoothie. Can't recommend enough. I mean, it is like a giant thing of mango, basically. I don't think I can finish this whole thing, but wow, I'm gonna get my fruit for like a week. Okay, I got some stuff. It wasn't quite as easy as I thought it would be. There were a bunch of things that was like, oh, that would almost work, but I'll show you what I found. I think this is definitely worth a return trip because I know, things change seasonally and you never know what you're going to find. So I think we got some stuff to work with today, and I definitely see some fall stuff coming in and all those good things too. So I want to keep pursuing this endeavor. See you guys later, and I will show you what I found and if anything fits. Wish me luck. Well, after getting everything home, I tried stuff on, and a couple things worked. We have two candidates for today's upcycle project. We have this white cotton blouse. It's kind of a tunic length. It's got those fun roll up and cuff sleeves. Very textured-y and soft, little cozy-ish. This one is by, let me double check, Anne Klein, and it is 100% cotton. Do you guys know what I'm thinking for something that's 100% natural fiber? I'm gonna let you think about that. I bet you're thinking what I'm thinking, but let me show you the next piece. Hey! Red shorts! Oh my goodness! These are by Nautica, and they're kind of a stretchy, slightly stretchy, kind of canvasy material. Let me double check. What are these guys? They are 98% cotton and 2% elastane. But, oh my gosh, these are really preppy and cute. They got the little side pockets. They actually have, it's kind of hard to see, an anchor on the button, which is kind of fun. So we've got some super beachy, slightly preppy vibes going on here. I've tried them on together and they're pretty fun. I could definitely leave them as is. And I know a lot of you guys are probably going to yell at your computer screen and be like, hey, just leave them. They're cute. And yeah, they are very cute. They would be just great basics, just plain as is. But I got some ideas to kind of, I don't know, make these a little bit more me. Let me show you what I'm thinking and see if you agree. Let's talk shirt first. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? 100% natural fiber. What can we do super easily with that? Yeah, I bet you got it. We can dye it. Oh my goodness. Of course, you can dye synthetics. You just have to get a dye that's for those. Of course, cotton, especially this gauzy stuff, I think would just slurp up dye and could be really fun. This shirt did come in a number of other colors at my Costco. They had like a sage green and kind of a lilac purple. But of course, I had to get the white. And I'm kind of thinking, what if instead of doing an all over dye, what if we do kind of a dip dye? Like maybe dipping the hem of the shirt in dye and then like dipping in the rest of the shirt, not all of it, but like up through maybe like the body of the shirt. Oop. And dip it in increments so that the bottom is darker and then there's still some white left at the top. I don't do dip dye very often, but I think that could be really cute with this shirt. It's still going to look really beachy. It'll just have a little color to it. Okay, we'll talk dye colors here in a second. Let's check out our shorts. Well, I'm kind of torn. I really like these shorts as is. You know, bright red, very preppy, very fun. Go with a lot of stuff. So I'm thinking, let's keep them kind of simple. Why don't we just add a little bit of embellishment? Maybe just like a little touch to make them cute, kind of unique. Hopefully still allow them to go with a lot of different things. Here's what I'm thinking. What if I get some trim? I'm picturing like red rickrack, if I can find some that'll match. And just sew some rickrack all along the bottom hem of the shorts. Maybe so it's like peeking out from the bottom hem. Or I could even just put in a long, the long seam line. That would be cute. Then maybe I could also put a little bit of whatever trim it is we pick right along the edge of the pocket too. If it was red, then it, you know, would just add a little detailing, but could be cute in other colors too. Ooh, navy could coordinate with that cute nautical button. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna have to think about that. I think I gotta hit the craft store and check my craft stash for trim ideas. But let's head back to the shirt and let's tackle a little bit of the tie-dyeing. Well, I was playing around with ideas for what colors do I want to dip dye this shirt, and I still want to keep kind of the nautical beachy theme. I was thinking, gosh, you know, kind of a navy blue would be cool, or like sunshine yellow would be super fun, although it's not a great color on me, unfortunately. And then I went through my craft stash, and I got some of this guy left over. This is a new dye color for me. I hadn't used this one before, but I recently dyed some t-shirts. And it's a really pretty, kind of light, beachy color. And I think it could be great for dip dyeing this shirt Hopefully we can still kind of keep it like a pastel-ish. You know, probably darker at the bottom than at the top, but not taking away too much from the white of the shirt. I'm thinking that light blue will be awesome. As usual, guys, I will be following the package directions on the back as much as I can. Of course, they got a lot of directions and dye recipes and stuff on their website as well. But I'm just going to be doing this in my sink. I'll be filling up one side of my sink with hot water. The directions recommend adding some salt to that dye bath for fabrics such as cotton. So I will be doing that. I'll add a little bit of dish soap, add a little bit of dye. I think I also want to tie this up maybe with some rubber bands to help me kind of gauge the dip dye process. And I probably want to put part of the shirt in a bag so the whole thing doesn't get dyed. The stuff I put in the bag will hopefully stay white. Another step, and this one's kind of optional, but I like doing it if I got it. I'll be adding a little bit of dye fixative after I've dyed the shirt the desired color. I'll pull it out of the dye bath and instead fill up my sink with some hot water and some of this fixative and let that swish around for probably about 20 minutes until it's set, and then I can wash and dry the garment. Okay, let's switch over to time lapse. I'm going to play around with some rubber bands, figure out how much of the shirt I actually want covered in dye and how much I want to be covered with, say, that plastic bag. And then we can go over to the sink and get started. Okay guys, well, here's what I ended up with. I decided to add some kind of big-ish rubber bands going down the shirt. This is going to add a little texture. You know, there'll be some parts that stay a little whitish, some parts that stay more blue. And then I'll try to like dip the first section, which includes the sleeve cuffs. Dip that in first. Maybe I'll let that sit for 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'll try to get the next section and the next section on up, and then hopefully we'll keep the top of the shirt white. Of course, you don't really have to tie the shirt up like this. If you just want it to be like straight ombre, you could just dip the whole thing. I'm kind of hoping to have a little bit of texture, and also these rubber bands kind of help me figure out my increments a little bit. I'll definitely be kind of going through and trying to like pull apart the fabric a little bit and make sure that dye is getting in there so we don't have any like giant white patches, but some variation would actually be kind of nice. So many different ways you could do this, guys. Of course, I'm including the sleeves in the dip dyeing part. You could leave those white as well. So many choices. I might have to go back and get another shirt so I can try more possibilities on this one. The bottle's recommending you use, I think it's about half a bottle per pound of fabric. And I weighed the shirt. I know, go me. Science. I weighed this shirt and it's about half of a pound. So, I don't want to add too much dye. I think I'll be adding maybe about 1/4 of a bottle. And I'm hopefully not going to be filling my sink up too full because I want to dip this. So let's head over to the kitchen lab and show you what I'm thinking. Alright, I'm covering up a whole bunch of my surfaces with old towels. I'm wearing old clothes. Maybe I'll even bring out an apron. Of course, the sink is where the real action's going to be happening. But we've also got our team players assembled over here. I always love to have some cleaning supplies handy so you can clean up drips and messes quickly so you don't have to be too concerned about those. I've got my salt, I'll need a little bit of dish soap, and I got my dye and my Rit. So I think I'm gonna get a little bit of dye, fill up my sink a little bit. Not sure quite how far I want to fill that up. Well, this is kind of a cool thing that my parents gave me. It's like a kind of fold out, supposed to be like a dish drying rack that you can put over a sink. I think I'm going to be using it to lay the shirt on the rack and then let some hang into the sink. Because it's always confused me a little bit. I'm like, where do you put the rest of the garment while it's dipping? So I want to try this. I believe he just got it on Amazon. I think it's like roll out dish rack or something. Let's give it a try, see what we think. Time to fill up the sink and get dyeing. Okay guys, I got the sink filled up, a little shy of halfway. I tried to use about a quarter of a bottle, hopefully that's okay. You know, we got our shirt. I did get it a bit wet here in the sink. Of course not this top part, but you know, the part we want to dye, I tried to squish some good water in there, so hopefully the dye soaks up nice and evenly. Okay, I think this is the moment of truth. I've got to get this onto this. Whoa, let's adjust a little. Okay, we got the rack in place. Now we need the shirt, and I'm doing this with my other hand, so hey, that's cool. Whew. Sorry for the filming quality here. We're multitasking. Okay, we gotta dip this guy first. He's going in. Whoa. Oh my goodness. Whoa, he's in there. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so let's try to make sure he's in there. Kind of up to the rubber band. And getting in there. Okay, I'm going to watch this guy. He's soaking up the dye pretty quick. So maybe give him like 5 minutes for this first section, and then the second one goes in. We'll see. I may have to switch to time lapse for that, but I'll show you how it goes. Whoo! 5 minutes! Ah, it's a cool color. Look at that. It's definitely seeped up higher than the rubber band because, you know, the fabric's wet. And I was kind of pushing it in there a little bit. Oop. So, that's cool. Alright, next section. You know, I'm thinking maybe I won't do all 4 sections. Maybe I'll just do like 3. I feel like this dye, since it's kind of a light colored dye, I feel like it may not actually get all that dark on the bottom level. Like if it was a really dark like the navy, I think it would get like super dark at the bottom, but I don't think this can ultimately get super dark. So may not be super beneficial to have like multiple layers, like quite so many bands, because you might not be able to notice too much of a difference by the time it gets to the top. I don't know if that makes any sense. Okay, well, we're gonna let this guy sit for like 5 minutes. We'll do the next one for 5 minutes and show you how it goes. Okay guys, it's looking pretty good. think I'm going to put this last one in. I think I might put it in just maybe a little higher than the rubber band and call that good. Hopefully the dye will kind of bleed upward a little bit in kind of a cool way. Okay, we're almost to the rubber band. Oh, there it is. Okay. Now, I think I might need to put the phone down. And I'm going to use some chip clips, I think, to just like clip the bag to the rack so that the whole thing doesn't accidentally fall in. I have to say this rack is super helpful. Definitely makes this more possible than a few other things I've tried, and I really haven't tried this kind of method a lot before because I couldn't figure out how to hold it up. So thanks, Mom and Dad, for that. That's very cool. I'm gonna get some clips on here. Oh, let's turn it around. Yeah, oh good, we're getting a little bleed up above that rubber band. That's good. We don't want it to be like a total straight line. Just, you know, a little bleed up is good. Cool. Okay, I'm liking that. Liking it. Okay, I think maybe, you know, 5 more minutes or so. But I better clip this down first. Okay, let me put the phone down and do that. Okay, hopefully that'll stay. Okay, 5 minutes. And then we gotta take it out, put it on the other side of the sink, drain the dye, and fill up the sink again with some more hot water and some dye fixative. How much of this do I have left? I don't have a full bottle. I think I'll be using about half a bottle today because that's about what I have. And then I'll let that sit in the fixative for about 20 minutes or so. And then I can kind of show you what it looks like. See you guys then. Okay guys, I pulled it out. We're still chip clipped, but just wanted to take a peek before I drain the dye. I just wanted to show you, I've kind of been pulling apart some of the, you know, banded parts just to see, hey, what's going on? Do we have any giant patches of white? We've definitely got some kind of white bits in this top one. And I actually really like that, so I'm going to leave it. If you wanted it more solid, you could kind of open up, kind of pull apart the fabric a little bit and put it back in the dye. But I think that's going to help us get kind of a variation here, because the bottom isn't actually all that dark compared to the top. But if there's a little white worked into the top, that looks kind of cool. I'm actually really loving this bit here. It looks like we're coming just to the bottom of the pocket. That's going to be very cool. Okay, so I'm going to pull this out, get off the rubber bands, make sure I like it. If there's any bizarre white patches, I can pop it back in the dye. I'm not going to drain it yet until I get the rubber bands off. And then, of course, we're going to fill up that sink. Do a little bit of fixative. And then, honestly, I think I'm just going to wash the shirt out in the sink with maybe some laundry soap and drip dry it and show you what it looks like. Yay! Whoa! Talk about beachy. I love this color. This is like pool blue. Oh my gosh, this is really, really fun. I love how we got some white mixed in, you know, from where we were tying up the shirt a little bit. That adds a little like texture. And it's definitely more concentrated at the bottom. I do want to try this process again with a darker dye though, and see if I can get an even more pronounced ombre. Maybe try this with like a navy blue. Wouldn't that be cool? I think this is going to be a lot of fun to wear. And actually, I want to wear it right away. Let's check out the shorts. And now it's time for the shorts. I did visit my local craft store and I got some rickrack. Thankfully, they had the perfect color, bright red. Okay, well, that's the size I bought. I'm playing around with, well, where do I want to put this rickrack? My first idea was to, like, put it behind the cuff of, or the hem of the shorts and, like, stitch it so it was, like, just peeking out, which I think would be super cute. That might show a little bit more, like the stitching would show, kind of, probably on the outside a little bit, so it might look a little awkward. I'm actually thinking instead, put it along this stitching line. Hey, I feel like that's kind of a nice natural placement, and it's just gonna work with that seam line really nicely. I just line it right up. I'll probably hand stitch it on. I mean, you could stitch it by machine. Which one am I gonna do? Not totally sure. I was also thinking it'd be pretty cute to get some going along the edge of the pocket. Could be darn cute. Okay, guys, I think we're on the right track. I actually need to wash and dry these shorts. I don't expect them to shrink a lot, but I do want to make sure if they're gonna shrink that it happens before I try to attach things to them. Okay, time for a little wash and dry, and then it's time to do a little bit of sewing. The shorts are out of the dryer and it is a rickrack time. You can tell I've been pinning the rickrack in place, trying to make sure I've got its length pretty specific before I cut it. I'm pinning around the bottom of the pant leg. You can tell I got a little overlap over here. I'm gonna try to have some overlap over here, and I'll probably try to kind of end the rickrack right here at this inseam matchup. The waves of the rickrack won't match here at this joint, but at least I'll have those raw edges tucked up underneath. And I was kind of doing a similar thing, pinning it onto the pocket area to make sure I had enough. I've got some roll under over here, and I decided I'm going to carry it right up to the top of the waistband. Of course, I got some rolled under pieces right there. I think I'm going to be able to sew the pant leg rickrack on with the machine. I did a little test piece of fabric with some rickrack to play around with it. I think I may have to do the pockets by hand though, because I'm a little bit worried that I'll accidentally sew part of the pockets closed, especially at like the top or the bottom if I'm doing it with the machine. So also, I think I am going to be finishing the ends of this rickrack so it doesn't fray. Give me just a second and I'll show you how I'm going to be doing that. Okay, I got my rickrack all measured out, and man, I noticed the rickrack frayed really quickly almost as soon as I cut it. So I was thinking of different ways to finish the ends. Let's see if we can focus a little bit. I actually ended up melting it ever so slightly using a candle lighter, and I didn't do a whole lot. Maybe you can see there's just like a tiny little edge here that's a little darker. The rickrack I purchased was polyester, so when exposed to heat it melted and kind of curled up a little bit. My method, since I was kind of paranoid that I might ruin something, I was using some tongs from the kitchen and a candle lighter, and I was doing it over the sink to be safe as possible, and I ended up just holding the rickrack close to the flame. Like, that's all it really needed to kind of curl up and melt those edges. If the rickrack touched the flame, it kind of blackened a bit. So I was trying to avoid that, and honestly really didn't need to to get it too close to that flame for very long before it melted. So that's just what I'm doing. Sewer people out there, if you have some other tips for me for working with rickrack, let me know, because I'm kind of new to this. Haven't used a lot of rickrack before, but I think we got our pieces. All the ends are sealed down. So I think it's time to pin them onto the shorts, do a little machine sewing, do a little bit of hand sewing, and get started. Well, here are the shorts, guys. I finished up the rickrack last night, and I'm loving how this looks. This is really cute, especially the red on red. It's just adding like cute textury detail. All right, although the rickrack application process definitely took me a while. It's not perfect either. That one doesn't look as good as this one. Yeah, don't tell anyone. Working with rickrack, a little fiddly. I feel like I could definitely use a little more practice on that. But, you know, we got it on there. For the pockets, I ended up sewing like the open pocket part on my sewing machine, like as far as I could. And then I stitched down the ends by hand to make sure I didn't sew anything closed on accident. I did sew the cuffs on the machine. So that was okie dokie. I kind of love how this is giving me kind of vintagey vibes. Kind of like some of those companies that do like retro styling and they have like lots of cute details on everything. It's kind of making me think a little like mod cloth vibes. Not quite, but you know, close enough, right? Let's bring out the shirt, put them together, and I think we're going to make a very bright and beachy outfit together. Well, bright and beachy, we've got, you guys. I think this is going to be a fun outfit to wear both together for a really nautical kind of vibe, and also separately. Here in end of summer and into fall, I think these are going to get a lot of wear in my wardrobe. I definitely want to try some projects like this again, because I think it is really fun to take something that's basic, that you really like as it is, but maybe just add a little something. Make it one of a kind. Make it special to you. Hey, if you guys get behind that idea of upcycling or DIYing a little brightness into your life, give this video a thumbs up, will ya? And consider subscribing for more fun and bright and crazy stuff from partners in craft. Love to have you along for all the adventures, and thank you guys, as always, for sharing the love. Since this is such a beachy outfit, I think we got to go take it to the beach. So I'm going to go put this outfit together. I'm going to grab a bunch of sweatshirts, because it may be cold out there, slather on a ton of sunscreen, and head on out. Let's go! Come along with me.